Good morning, children. How are you all? This is your social teacher speaking. Children, I hope that you are all doing good. Okay, children. Yes. Today's class, we are going to see about history. Unit 2. The title is From Trade to Territory. In this lesson, we are going to see about the part 5 of this session. Okay. Yes, children. Before to moving a new slide, this is our slide. Next we are going to move. Before to moving the new slide, I want to give a small recap regarding your previous sessions subtopics. Okay, children? Yes. Let me move. What are all the subtitles that you have learned in the past 4 classes? Okay, children? Yes. See here, under the unit 2 that you have learned introduction for the lesson of From Trade to Territory. In this introduction, you have known about the importance of importance of British establishment political supremacy and their establishment of political power, that is especially by the English East India Company. Under that, you have learnt about Battle of Plassey, and you have known about the Black Hole tragedy, which is took place during the period of Siraj-ud-Dawla. Okay, in the period of Battle of Plassey. Okay, children, and after that you have known about the battles which are all took under by the British rule, especially the places such like as Bihar and Bengal. The battles are known as Battle of Boxer and the Battle of Plassey. Okay, children, yes. And after that you have learned in previous classes about Carnatic Wars. The Carnatic Wars took places in 3 parts, that is the first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War and third Carnatic War. In the first Carnatic War, the time period is 1746 to 1748. The second Carnatic War is the time period 1749 to 1754. Okay, children, and the third Carnatic War took places in the year of 1756 to 1763. Okay, children, yes. After that, you have known about that the first Carnatic War under the importance of Battle of Adayar, which is took place in the year 1746, and the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle in the year 1748. After that, you have learnt about second Carnatic War, Battle of Ambur. Under the second Carnatic War, you have learnt about Battle of Ambur, which is took place in the year 1749. Okay, children? Yes. And afterward, under the second Carnatic War, you have known about Battle of Arcot. It too took place in the year 1751. Okay, yes. Here the side of Britishers, Robert Clive has played an important role. That means a vital role. Okay, children, and the French government also recalled Dupleix to Paris once again after the Battle of Arcot. Okay, next you have learnt about under the second Carnatic War, Treaty of Pondicherry, especially in the year 1755. Okay, which is took places during the period of Dupleix. Okay, children, yes. Third Carnatic War, it too also come as a result of the outbreak of 7-year wars which is took place in Europe. Okay, children, yes. And in that under the Battle of the Third Carnatic War, the Battle of Vandewash is also a important ones which is took place in the year 1760, children. So these are all the previous subtitles that you have learned, okay, in our previous sessions. And afterwards, under the Battle of Vandewash, you have learnt about Treaty of Paris, which took place in the year 1763. Okay, later you have learned about Mysore and its resistance to British expansion. Under that, you have learned the subtitle The First Anglo-Mysore War and its causes and causes. Okay, yes. The Treaty of Madras is also took place in the First Anglo-Mysore War, children. You have learned. And the second Anglo-Mysore War, which is took places in between of the side of Mysore Empire and Britishers. Especially the Mysore Empire means Hyder Ali, and afterwards who do you have be remember? That is Tipu Sultan. Treaty of Mangalore. It too also took place in 1784. Okay, children. The third Anglo-Mysore War, it's too happened in between of the two sides, two rivalries. One is from the side of British, another one side of the Mysore ruler, especially who is it? He is a Tipu Sultan. Okay, children, in that third Anglo-Mysore War, you have learnt about the Treaty of Srirangapatnam 1792, and later you have known about the fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Okay, children, these are the our last session class. Okay, as following to the fourth Anglo-Mysore War, you have learned the period wise of the first, second, and the third Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, that only are going to see in today's class. Okay, after following to this slide. Yes, and this is now Mysore after the war, which is took places in between Britishers and Mysore Emperor, especially he is known as Tipu Sultan. Okay, children, let we move to a new slide, that is our today's class about Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, okay, children. Yes. Now see here. Anglo-Maratha War. It means what? Anglo means a side of foreigners, especially Britishers and Marathas, who taken as the region of Maharashtra, a ruling place that belonging to that place are known as Marathas. So the war in between of two parties, one is a side of Britishers and another one is a side of whom? The Marathas. Okay, so far it is named as Anglo-Maratha War. See here, the Anglo-Maratha War, it too also taken three phases of war. That is first Anglo-Maratha War. It is in the year 1775, 1782. And second Maratha War, Anglo-Maratha War, it took place 1803 to 1805. Children, you take down the notes of this. And another one, third Anglo-Maratha War, took places in between 1817 to 1818. Okay, children, yes. Now let's move to the subtitle of this Anglo-Maratha Wars. The Marathas managed to overcome the crisis caused by their defeat at Panipat, and after a decade recovered their control over. After seeing all the against from the side of the enemies, the Maratha were come out from, overcome means what? Come out from the crisis means here problems which are all caused by the defeat during the period of Battle of Panipat, and after a decade means you have known as very well, it is a period of 10 years. Okay, children, as it is known as decade, a period of 10 years is called as decade. Okay, yes, recovered their control over Delhi. Okay, children, and see here the second point, the old Maratha Confederacy. Okay, here see the old Maratha Confederacy. It means what? A union of states, a group of people or political parties with the same aim is known as Confederacy. 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 Okay, as controlled by the Peshwa, had given a way to 5 virtually independent states. The Maratha Confederacy controlled by Peshwas. Here Peshwa means what? The first thing you have to know about the meaning of Peshwa. Peshwa means a Peshwa was a prime minister of the Maratha Empire of the Indian subcontinent. Okay, children, take the note of this. So he controlled over the entire Maratha region and given a way and given a chance to virtually independent nearly 5 states. Okay, children, yes, that 5 states are especially, take the note of this, children, Peshwa at Pune, Gaikwads, Gaikwads, Gaikwads at Baroda, Bhonsle, Bhonsle, Bhonsle at Nagpur, and Holkars at Indore, and last one, Scindias, Scindias, Scindias at Gwalior. These are all the 5 independent states, okay, which are come under the control of the Peshwas. These are all the neighboring regions to the Marathas. So the internal conflict among the Marathas was best utilized by the British in their expansionist policy. Here the last sentence is given a clear idea about the view of the thought of Britishers. How means they are willing to occupy the planet, to occupy the entire region of Marathas. Okay, children? Yes. Before of moving to the next slide, I want to give a small notes regarding the 5 independent states. Okay, children? Yes. Take down the note of this, children. Gaikwad, Gaikwad. Gaikwad means what? Take a note. Origin from Davadi village near Pune. They designated as Matri. Matri means M-A-T-R-E, Matri, that is Mantri. Okay, meaning ministers. Okay, Mantri in Hindi. In this language it is called as Mantri, meaning ministers to Hindu Marathas are known as Gaikwad. Okay, children? Yes. And see, next one, Sindhya, a group of another one state is belong to Sindhya. Sindhya what? I'm giving the explanation about the second sentence, children. Sindhya, S-C-I-N-D-I-A, Sindhya dynasty is a Hindu Maratha dynasty that ruled the erstwhile state of Gwalior, okay, which the ruler were occupied in a place is known as Gwalior. The Gwalior state was a part of the Maratha Confederacy, okay, yes, in the century of 18th and 19th centuries, and a princely state of the colonial British government during the period 19th and 20th centuries. Okay, children, they were took place in a region of Gwalior, who the Sindhya, S-C-I-N-D-I-A. In forthcoming slides, we are going to see about the rulers of the Sindhyas, children. Okay, yes. And see here, Holkar, H-O-L-K-A-R. Holkar means whom? The Holkar dynasty was a Maratha clan of Dangar. Origin in India, the name of the dynasty was associated with the title of the ruler, who was known as informally as Holkar Maharaja. Okay, children. So these are all the independent states which are all come under the category of Peshwa. Okay, yes, children. Yes, they are the 5 independent states or belong to the clans. Okay, a group of Marathas. Okay, yes. And clan means what? Clan means is nothing but, take down this note also, children. Clan means a group of families who are related to each other. Okay, so it is known as clan. And next, see, first AngloMaratha War. It is took place in between the Maharashtrians and afterwards Britishers. For what cause? The first Anglo-Maratha War took place. The first British intervention was at the time of dispute over succession to the Peshwaship following the death of Narayan Rao. It means what? Here the interference of the Britishers was started from where? Started from the death of Narayana Rao. Narayan Rao, who is Narayan Rao? Narayan Rao was a Peshwa during the period of the Britishers who are planned to rule. After the death of Narayana Rao, here the problem have rise up. What is the problem? To be catch of the throne of Narayana Rao. Okay, so for that Raghunath Rao, that means his very as his surname, he is known as Raghuba, became the Peshwa, but his authority was challenged by a strong party. Automatically, when Narayana Rao have gone to death, so suddenly the post have to be handed over to whom? To Raghunath Rao. But his authority was not accepted by the strong party who are belong to where? Belong to the same region. That is, the strong party is known as Pune. Under party is at the place of Pune under the leadership of Nana Padnavis. Okay, Nana Padnavis. The Treaty of Surat. They were here. See, the Nana Padnavis is not going aside of, he is not wish to be as a side of to selected to elect to whom? To Raghuba as a Peshwa of the region of Maratha, after whom? After Narayana Rao. So he against to whom? Against to Raghunatha Rao. Okay, yes. So for that, the Treaty of Surat between the English and Raghunatha Rao was concluded in 1775. How? That we are going to see here now. See, After the death of Raghunath Rao, that is Narayana Rao, Raghunath Rao became the Peshwa, but his authority was challenged by a strong party. It is called as at the Pune under Nana Patnavis, because the party recognized the infant born home, that is infant born posthumously Narayanan, that is posthumously. The spelling you take down, Posthumously, posthumously to Narayana Rao's wife. Here see Narayana Rao wife, his wife Ganga Boy, his son. Narayan Rao's son is known as a very infant newborn baby who want to become next to the throne after to Narayana Rao. But here Raghunath Rao were against to this throne. Okay, children. So here the party were decided to be given a chance to whom? To the original issue of whom? Narayana Rao. But here against from the side of Raghunath Rao. So here the problem is started in Maratha to has become a Peshwa during the period of 1775. So far, having failed in his bid to capture power, Raghunath Rao approached the help of Britishers. At that time, the Britishers were waited for a right time to be get at the territory from whom? From the Indian rulers. So this is a moment where a right choice to be as captured. The regions of what? The regions of Maratha. So here the Britishers were involved in a side of a treaty of Surat between whom? Between Raghunath Rao. If supposed to the Britishers want to help Raghunath Rao to make him to become the Peshwa, so that he have to agree what are all the demands are created by have been put front by the Englishers, he have to accept it. So that the treaty is known as what? The Treaty of Surat. It is concluded in the year when? 1775. The council sent Colonel Upton to Pune to negotiate a peace with the Pune Regency. So behalf of this, the British council was sent a person, he is known as Colonel Upton to Pune to negotiate. Negotiate means what? To be give a talk, a positive talk along with the ruler. Okay, children. So for that, they have given a negotiation along with the ruler. So regarding this discussion at which people try to decide or agree something. Okay, children. So for a peace with the Pune Regency. Pune Regency means whom? The party, the side of Narayana Rao wife's side, Ganga Boy's side. So they have sent the colonel, the British have sent a person, Colonel Upton. Okay, yes. According to Upton, concluded the Treaty of Purandar in 1776. At that time, here Upton came to Pune and afterwards he spoke with that is Narayana Rao's wife, and afterward a majority party of the Pune under the Nana Patnavis were consulted, and at last the council minister Upton concluded the Treaty of Purandar in 1776. The treaty, however, did not take effect due to the opposition from the English government in Bombay. So as that the result, even though this treaty is not get successful, because in the side of government of Bombay side, the Englishers were given an opposition to this party. So in 1781, I think, in the year 1781, Warren Hastings dispatched British troops under Captain Popham. He defeated the Maratha chief Mahadaji Scindia. Okay. Yes, he belonged to the clan of Mahadaji Scindia in a number of small battles and captured during this period, the Treaty of Purandar period. That is the Mahadaji Scindia in a number of small battles and captured Gwalior. Later on 17th May, that means 1782, the Treaty of Salbai was signed between Warren Hastings and Mahadaji Scindia. In this period after, later it was be signed. Okay, when after the Treaty of Purandar, the Treaty of Salbai was signed in between of Britishers and whom? Mahadaji Scindia. Okay, children, these are all took places under the first Anglo-Maratha War. And see next, what are the results took place after the first Anglo-Maratha War, the result is Raghunath Rao was pensioned off and Mahadev Rao too was accepted as the Peshwa. Here Raghunath Rao, okay, he was pensioned off by whom? By the Britishers, and later his throne were slowly handed over to whom? Madhav Rao too, okay, was accepted as a Peshwa. Okay, children, that is a prime minister of the Maratha. And next, the Sal city was given to the British as that. Next, the Sal city was given to whom? The Sal city was given to Britishers. And next of this, another one result also took place, that is the Treaty of Salbai established the British influence in India politics. Toto started in the Indian politics. It proved, that means it provided the British 20 years of peace with the Marathas. So here you have to be notified that Marathas who had a bond of a thick of relationship, the friendly relation along with whom? Along with the foreigners, especially the Britishers. Okay, children. Yes. Next, see the internal affairs of the Marathas. Okay. Yes. Here, see the internal affairs. What is the meaning of internal affairs? Internal affairs, it means in the system, the internal affairs refers to a decision, that means a division of a law enforcement agency that investigates incidents and possible suspicious of law breaking and professional misconduct attribute to officers on the force is known as what? Internal affairs of Marathas. Here the internal affairs of the Marathas deteriorated, deteriorated further after the close of the first Maratha War. Yes, it come to the conclusion after the first Maratha War. Whose? That is no, the Marathas rule. Nana Fadnavis grew fond of power, jealous of Mahadaji Scindia, and became progressively inclined to seek the support of English. Here see, another one is, what is? Nana Fadnavis grew, his power were grown up. On seeing of the power of Nana Fadnavis grown up, the jealous as in the side of another one, his against a rival, he is known as Mahadaji Scindia. Okay, and slowly became a progressively inclined to seek the support. At that time, he needed a support from whom? From the English. Okay, children. Yes, next to see here, the young Peshwa Madhav Rao too tried to improve the affairs but could not check the rivalry of Maratha chief. Okay, and see here, the young Peshwa Mahadev Rao too tried to improve the affairs, but he couldn't check the rivalry of Maratha chiefs. He couldn't because he couldn't get any help from the Maratha chiefs. Mahadaji Scindia died in the period in between of this period, where his two young men in front of other Peshwas. Madhava Rao too were too young in his age. Okay, yes. So he can't able to be tolerate the rivals of the Maratha chief, and especially in the battles. So Mahadaji Scindia died during in this period, in between of this period. Mahadaji Scindia died in the year 1794 and was succeeded, and his throne was succeeded by his grand nephew Daulat Rao Scindia. Okay, you know the meaning of nephew. Nephew means what, children? Nephew means it's nothing but it is a son or what? That is son or the son of yours, or otherwise one's brother or sister, or the son of one person's husband or wife, brother or sister is known as here nephew. Like as the same way here, after the death of Mahadaji Scindia, the throne was succeeded by his grand nephew. That means whom? His name is Daulat Rao Scindia. His relation to Mahadaji Scindia. The death of Nana Padmanabhas in 1800 gave the British Okay, British an added advantage after seeing, that is no, the great against the rivalry of the British is whom he is belong to Nana Patnavis. That means he is a supporter of Raghunath Rao wife's during the period, supporters. So for that here he too against to the Britishers, and after the known of the news of death of Nana Patnavis in the year 1800, the Britishers were took a lot of advantages. So as Jashwant Rao suddenly, that means automatically the Jashwant Rao Holkar and the Daulat Rao Scindia were fighting each other against to, for what? Against to capture the throne of Maratha. Okay, children, yes, which are all belong to whom? Raghunath Rao. Okay, under his issue. Okay, next see here the second Anglo-Maratha War. It took place in between of the Marathas and Britishers. It too also second started here. After the first over, the second Anglo-Maratha War is started. After accepted the subsidiary alliances by the Peshwa. What the meaning of subsidiary alliances? Subsidiary means, take the note of this, children. These are all the extra points to you. I'm going to give the meaning of the subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance means a subsidiary alliance in South Asian history describes a tributary alliance between a native state and either French India or later the British East India Company. We can take it. Okay, children. So that is called a subsidiary alliance by the Peshwa. Daulat Rao Scindia and Raghuji Bhosle attempted to save Marathas independent after come to know the reality phase of the Britishers. Here both the native rulers, especially the Daulat Rao Scindia and Raghuji Bhosle, came to know the truth of the aim of the Britishers, and they wanted to save the Marathas' independence. So far they have well prepared and organized army of the English under whom? Under the Arthur Wellesley defeated the combined army. So they have decided to against whom? Against the Britishers. Here the Britishers too also well prepared to whom? To be as forward to give a answer through by the organized army, which are all well versed side of organized army of the side of English forces. Under whom? Under the Arthur Wellesley. He decided to defeated the combined army means whom here? Here one is Daulat Rao Scindia, another one is Bhosle. At where? At the place, at their own region. It is known as Ashii, okay, and Argon. They are the places situated in a state of Maharashtra. Okay, children. Yes. Yashwant Rao Holkar made an attempt to form a coalition of Indian ruler to fight against the Britishers. Here too another one against rival who are created as a name of British againster. He is known as Yashwant Rao Holkar, and he made an attempt of battle in against of whom? Let us know the conflict between. Yes, in against of the Britishers. So the Indian, he wanted to gather the Indian rulers as together to be as give the support hand to him. To whom? To fight against to the Britishers. But his attempt proved unsuccessful. Okay. Yes, it has not happened so, children. So for that, it come to as a failed result. And next to see what are all the results that took place in second Anglo-Maratha War. The result took place in the second Anglo-Maratha War was the Maratha power gradually weakened. See here the sentence. Result, what happened? The Maratha power started to decline as weakened. Okay, in both or the side, in side of the wealth side and after the side of political side. Even though in the side of army side too, also the forces of army also started to weaken in front of the Britishers. So next, the result of the second Anglo-Mysore War was what? The English East India Company started becoming the paramount power in India. What is the meaning of paramount? Paramount means it started to be reach the place of apex. It means top. That is no, British East India Company started to influence the power as a supremacy power in India. Okay, children. Yes, these are all the results or took place after when? After the Second Anglo-Maratha War. And see, let's we move to the Third Anglo-Maratha War. This Third Anglo-Maratha War was a final and decisive conflict. Okay, it is a final. This is a last one. Okay, the last and a decisive conflict means what? Yeah, war, a fight. It is called as a fight or an agreement. It also known as a conflict. Okay, children. Yes, so it too also took place there in between in the period of Third Anglo-Maratha War, in between of Marathas and Britishers. So it is very shortly that the war between the British East India Company and the Maratha Empire in India. It began with an invasion of Maratha territory by British East India Company troops, and after that the Britishers were started to gave the entry into the territory of Maratha troops. Okay, enter the territory of Marathas, and slowly the Britishers were occupied the whole regions of whom the Peshwas. Okay, children, next see, the Peshwa was defeated in the battles of Khatki and Korigan, and several minor battles were also took place in this period. It too were fought by the Peshwa forces, and against to whom? Against the Britishers. For what? For the purpose of to prevent his capture. Okay, which are all captured by the Britishers. They wanted to recapture from them. So for Peshwa were created, were made battles against to whom? Against to the Britishers. So what are the results took place there after the war? That means most of the territory of Peshwa Bajirao II was annexed and became part of the Bombay Presidency. Okay, children. Yes, most of the places after this war. Okay, after the war, the result has happened like us know, the Britishers were the winners. Okay, they won a lot of territories which are all belong to Peshwa Bajirao II, and annexed, occupied all the territories, and they became a part of the Bombay Presidency. It means what? What the meaning of Bombay Presidency? The period of time that Britishers were ruled. See, I am going to explain about this meaning. Okay, the period of time that Britishers were ruled the part of India, especially state of Maharashtra. Take down the notes of this, children. Okay, yes, Maharashtra, the place known as Bombay. So it is called as Bombay Presidency. Okay, children, because of this I am going to give an explanation. Okay, for this word I am giving an explanation. See, once again I am telling that the period of time that Britishers were ruled the part of India, especially state of Maharashtra, the place known as Bombay. Okay, so it is called as Bombay Presidency. Okay, children. Yes, and see now the British and administrative organization in India. Children, this is, I am going to this subtitle, I am going to take the class on upcoming classes. Okay, children. So up to here the result I am going to be end our today's session, children. Okay, I hope that you have learned and understood well regarding the Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, children. Yes, take care, do your homework regularly, be safe in your home, children. Bye.